Well, heck. Good morning, kids. It is I, Grandpaw Coyote, coming to you once again from Crestone, Colorado, here in the Rocky Mountain High of the United States of America. And God, do we ever love it here. It's beautiful. It's colder than hell out there this morning, but it's still beautiful. And babies, I love you. And we're rocking down. And I'm here this morning to talk to you about a time to heal. You know what healing means or what it is? Well, hell, I don't either. But we're beginning to figure it out. Now, I've been kind of a badass all of my life. Get in other people's way a lot, It's not that I mean to be, an ornery old critter, but that was just built into me when I was born as part of my language, part of my being. And I just couldn't help it. So in my later years, when I got to know Spirit really well, I began to mellow out and, but the resonance of those old fights still kind of follow me, And of course I raged against injustice and unfairness wherever I saw it. And it ain't that I'm such a damn saint or nothing, because I ain't. But I really hated it when people were taken advantage of, Myself in particular and included, but not just myself. I was champion of the people's heart in my own little mind, I always wanted to make it better for everybody else, because it seemed like we lived in a pile of shit and we were just up to our noses in it, and there's just a lot going on that just wasn't right, and I really despised it, hated it, and railed against it and felt all self-righteous because of it. But a lot of that ugliness gets into you anyway. Even though you despise it, it's there. And after a while you begin to see that what you're fighting outside yourself is what you're fighting inside yourself. And it takes a hell of a lot of doing to figure that out. But you can't do it from a point of feeling wrong about things. I mean, maybe those kind of feelings would be a part of it. But you wasn't wrong. It may not have been the best approach you could have taken. But you wasn't wrong. Doesn't mean you was right either. It just means that's what is. That's what done there. What we done there. But it ain't what we're doing here. I don't know if you can follow my reasoning here. There's nothing wrong with being a little self-righteous at times. As you're going through things and you're learning and growing, I mean, just about anything's permissible. It happens. But there comes a time when you really start to feel responsible inside, which means you look beyond the outer ways, that what you see in the world, and you start looking at what's going on inside of yourself. And maybe taking care of the battle there. There's a lot of power in that. And if you can lay to rest what's so restless inside of yourself, if you can find that peace in yourself, babies, I don't think you'd ever have to rail against anything outside yourself as long as you would live. Because if you got peace, you got freedom. And there ain't nothing here that can enslave you. Not anything. Because you don't need anything. You don't want anything. It's living a different kind of life where you just have what you need. It's there because you're at peace. And all of this conflict we go through inside and outside of ourselves is just a part of coming to see that. There's nothing wrong with it. In fact, it's healthy to rail against the system. I mean, you know, our system's a piece of shit. It sucks. It's heartless and it's cold and it got the bitterness of these corrupt laws and a bunch of people that think they own the whole frickin' world pulling strings on all the rest of us and telling us how we're going to live and what we're going to do. It's a piece of shit. And try and make a living in this world. Try and have something nice for yourself, little comfort. Yeah, you can get it, but you can only have it 1 or 2 days a week because you got to work your ass off. The rest of the time, pay for it. It's a piece of shit world. And unfairness seems to rule here. But when you look around you and you see what's really here, and you see nature and God and you live in her and you love her, I don't know, it don't seem like that unfairness is that significant anymore. It seems like what you could find inside of yourself would be far more worthy. And that there's nothing, no amount of enslavement that can take that away from you. If you can find that peace inside of yourself, you've got something that nobody else has. But yet, if you can gain it, then anybody can. And if you want justice and fairness to prevail here, you want to live in a good world, a place that makes you happy to be in, well, take a look around you. Get out of these stinking old cities. But even in those stinking old cities, take a look around you. There's a lot of beauty and wonder there, you know. There'll be a little twig growing up out of a crack in the sidewalk because nature wants to be there and to reassure you of your love and your life and to keep you moving, you know. And there's cities like San Francisco. Yeah, it's a mess, but it's beautiful, you know. A lot of neat things have happened there. Now, personally, I wouldn't want to live there, but it's beautiful. And it's a nice place to visit. And it was a good place for a revolution to begin. Because it really did. Back there in those later 60s, it honestly began. In that fair little city by the bay. A few hearts turned in a peaceful direction. And the rest of the babies tried to follow it. It's a beautiful thing. But it's something we couldn't hang on to. But at least we made the moves. We went against, and I don't include myself, I wasn't there at the time, I was elsewhere. But I seen it happen all over the world because it happened in San Francisco first. And it was an awesome and beautiful thing. We set ourselves free of restriction for a while. Not knowing that we were still restricted and that Tricky Dick had trickier ways than we knew about. Talking about old Dick Nixon, our former president. Oh, of course he came along just a little bit after that, but anyway. Getting back on the subject here. What started there was an awakening, an opening. Yeah, it was manipulated, and it was, you know, the CIA was all over the place selling LSD and listen to all these initials. But, you know, they couldn't stop it. They just tried to co-opt it. That's what they tried to do. And in a way, they were successful. Because ultimately, the revolution went away, but its effects never did. You know, and that war in Vietnam did stop. Because enough people got pissed off about it and railed against the system. But if we'd have known then what we could know now, there would have been a far different outcome. So the energy of that time carries forward to now. And it's inside us all. And it's been ripening through all these years of continuing injustice. And there's the dark dudes and dudettes try to rule us out of existence, you know. We begin to exist. We begin to feel life. To know love. To know heart. Something we've never done before. Not for a long, long time, kids. We chose this path for ourselves. We allowed it to be. We opened to the experience of it and came here and become these babies that we are. Because we needed to feel it. We needed to go through it. Yeah, it's a school of a sort, but not some place where you're learning facts and figures and having to memorize shit. It's a place where you truly learn and grow. And where you individuate yourself and separate away from the rest of the people. You feel that when you're first born. And become an individual who's completely responsible for themselves and feels like hell because of it. Because you can't seem to get it right no matter what you do. So you just make do. You get through. You know? But healing is when we begin to realize we're all together in this journey we call life. That everybody lives for the benefit of everybody else. And we're here more than just to prop each other up. We carry each other on our shoulders, our mutual shoulders. And in fact, that's what we're doing. Even in our most lonely moments, we're carrying it for everybody else, and everybody's carrying it for us. And you see the evidence of this all around you. How do you think you get food on your table? Stuff like that. I mean, you know, there's a lot of slough-offs and dog-offs in this world. A lot of people who are non-productive, but even they contribute in essence to the experience of all, and in some way support us and heal us because of their ineptitude. And then we help them get back up. See, consciousness is just the realization. This is truly what's going on. And then we can readjust, as we tried to do back in the 60s and the 70s. Then we can truly readjust this entire world. And each person find their natural place in it. And be truthfully happy and well supported. And never have to go through these trying moments again, ever. Never have to deal with lack of anything. You're home, babies. You're here. You're in the heart. Mother Earth loves you. It's time to rock and roll. So, these are the things I'm beginning to realize as I sit here as this individuated person that I am. But somehow, today I don't feel quite so separate. I don't feel as alone. I know there's healing going on, even though I can't describe what it is in particular. I know I'm beginning to feel better. And because of that, I know you are too. We're in this together. And we're doing this like lovemaking like you've never seen before. This is togetherness that ends that loneliness and takes away the pain. Because pain's just simply feeling the conflict within yourself, reminding yourself there's something there to heal. So get inside yourself today. Do a little meditation of one sort or another. Get inside yourself. See what's there. Feel it. Come home. And the more of us doing this, the more of us that are getting it. Because it's time. And then you begin to see what's beyond your eyes. And live a different experience here. Because you begin to see and live in the fullness of it. All the dimensions present. What you can't see now, what you couldn't see before, you begin to see again. Because as you see it, you remember it. Say, that's what it is. It's not like this, it's that. Wow. All this time I thought I knew. Wow, and I didn't know shit. Well, hang down. Let's get it on. So babies, that's where we're going with all this. I just want you to know it's worth whatever struggle you've been through or got to go through. You know, it's when you learn to give up the struggle, though, that you start to heal. And you stop fighting with yourself, and you'll stop fighting with each other. Because there'll be no need for that anymore. You'll know, they know, and everybody's happy once again. And we can be grown-up babies in the playpen. We don't have to be babies anymore, you know. We can mature enough to truthfully enjoy the blessings we receive and find the greatest of respect for one another. And let go of all the brainwashing and the hammering in the head that we've gotten from the powers that be. That teach us we're nothing and we know nothing and we live just because somebody allows us to be, and we better follow the rules, etc. I mean, you know, good grief. The list goes on. We're not a bunch of Nazis, kids. We ain't fascists. And we're a lot more than friends. We don't need authority figures to tell us what to do or to how to live. Because we are that authority. We got that heart in us. And when you begin to feel that, you begin to live that. And that's why this false authority in this world's so fought against us and suppressed our little revolutions and so forth, and still attempt to do so now by, you know, subtler means. because they feel like they're losing something. Just like something inside of yourself does. That so-called darker side. But these are beings that are so empty. We've got to help them fill it again. They're the lost souls of this earth. The ones that have gone way too far into it. And oftentimes these are beings that are occupied by other beings that are equally as empty, if not emptier. Can you imagine how it is not to feel alive? To have to create mind-blowing experiences just so you can feel? That's where those dudes and dudettes are. They're empty. Vacant. Hollow. Yet there's life. It's just suppressed inside of them. They're more than numb. They've gone beyond all feeling. They have none. In an intellect. But it's about as feeling as this computer is. In fact, the computer feels more than that does. So these are souls that need our compassion. Yeah, we can hold them accountable for a little while. That doesn't mean we have to kill them. Because then the emptiness is in us and we're stupid. And back to being the same old way, and needing all this authority to tell us what to do and how to do it. Tell us what time of day to take a crap. Tell us what a healthy diet is. And so on and so forth. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. But the more you find this peace inside, the less you're going to need of that. And the closer you are to bringing these unconscious beings back to life again too. You know, you experience your presence, you know yourself, or you wouldn't even watch this video. But yeah, you've been fighting against some injustice for a mighty long time. Not realizing it's inside of you too. And there's where you go to heal it, babies. Because when you do, it'll bring forth a presence, both inside and outside yourself, that's just phenomenal. And you will begin to see what's here, what's truthfully here. And because of that, you can have peace and let go of the agony of heart. It's brought you so low. And appreciate the lowness, because that'll give you back to your highness. So let's live together in this reality. Let's be more than friends and lovers. Let's be what we are. Companions in truth. Peaceful beings living together so they can experience one another again and know the beauty of each other's heart, which is one heart in everyone, and all these neat little individuated forms that make us so appreciate one another. And we'll find respect that we've never felt before. Wowzer, kids. Why don't we just do this? Stop talking about it, get on with it. Have some fun with it. Learn to enjoy life no matter what's going on. Keep that peace. because you are peaceable. And know that you can let go of this feeling of responsibility and see that you're responsive to the heart and that all experience created in some way benefits you and others too. When you understand that, you got the peace of plenty. And so do they. They, the enemy. God, I love you, kid. Have a great time. Crestone, Colorado. One of those places where you can feel the heart of the earth. It's Grandpa Peter Koyote signing off again today. See you soon.